Not able to share. Hello. So hope I will be able to share my screen now. Okay, hope you're all able to see my screen. We are going to start in the next 4 minutes. Okay, so we are not yet live. Okay, so just doing some setup. So hello all, welcome to the day 2. And in the day 1 we had did this thing. I was just showing all these things. Okay, so we are going. There was some issue, so it's okay now. So I hope everyone able to hear me and all. So this is what we have created on a day 1, and today we are going to complete the CSS. And tomorrow it is Flexbox. Then 2 days of grid will be there. Okay, so let's get started. And so what we're going to do today, yesterday, the last thing was this, we did this thing. Today, the first thing which we are going to do is to style a form. So forms are, as always, a very important things. Okay, so let's do the forms. Okay, so let us do that form and let's do it. Okay, why it is not coming? Okay, one sec. Okay, so let's do it. So here we are with our both of these things, and after this we are going to create a form. But you might be seeing that okay, it is going a bit more deeper, means it has gone a bit down. Okay, wait a sec, I'm not able to see what you people typing. Let me open my YouTube on the other screen. Okay, just one sec, we're going to start now. Okay, so that's okay. So what we're going to do now today we're going to start with forms. So but we have gone a bit down, so it's always better to do some BR and HR. So that is a trick when we go a bit down, so we should do that. Let me see. Okay, I'm at 100%, so sometimes you are not as 100%. That is not a good thing. So after this div I'm going to do BR and HR, BR and HR and BR, and after this again I'll do HR and BR and maybe BR here. BR here. What I'm going to do inside this, I'm going to create the form. Okay, so inside this, I'm going to create the form dot my form. So it's always better to take some name. So we've already learned that we should always take some name and then do it. So I have take the name. So class of my form I have done. So I'll do this like this, and then form, and my form is there, and then div dot form group I'm going to do, and inside this form group I'm going to have a label. The main thing is not the functionality, the main thing is showing it beautifully. The main thing is should be look very beautiful. Okay, so that is there, and label is done, and then I will have a input type is text and name is equal to name, and then I'm going to have a another same kind of a div same kind of a div I'm going to have, and then this will be like this. And now I'm going to have a email, and email is there, and this will be email, and then I will have a message text area also. Text area also I will going to have again the form group, and this I will write as message, and this will be text area, and name is okay, name I already have. So text area doesn't have a something like this. Okay, so message, and text area should have an ending, so I will have an ending like this. And then after the last thing is the b input, and type is submit, and I will have a class also here, because for a reason I'm having this class is button, and value is equal to submit. I'm doing save it, and it will show this old ugly form because it's a HTML form. Okay, now we are going to beautify this ugly form without CSS. Okay, so those who attended my HTML form, we create something like this, but that is very ugly. Okay, so let us go ahead and welcome all. So I'll go here, and this my form I'm going to select. My form I'm going to select here, and then a golden rule is there. Okay, if you give a padding in anything, the golden rule is that if you give a padding in anything, it will look very beautiful. Padding of 20 pixel I'll give, and I'll save it. A bit of padding is all way around it. A bit of padding is all way around. Then I'll go and my form, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this form group. I'm going to select. Why I'm going to select this form group? See, this is div, but this is coming in the separate line. But I want to do one more thing. I want to have some space between them. When we are doing the HTML thing, HTML, what we did, we added a BR, but instead of the BR, we'll do something which is related to CSS. So instead of the BR, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all these form groups. So this, all of them are form groups, same class name. Okay, so I'm going to select this form group, and dot form and dot form group I'm going to do, and then padding bottom is 15 px, padding bottom is 15 px, I'll do. So a padding bottom has been done. So it is already looking very good. So padding bottom is done with this thing. Okay, so the next thing which we are going to do is again a very good CSS trick. See one thing, this name, email, message, this name and the input, both of them are in the one line. Email and input, both of them are in the one line. This and this, both of them are in the one line. While they are in the one line, because there are inline element, they are inline element, and we want to change them to block level element. Either we can add a BR here, or we are going to do the CSS. What we are going to do, we are going to change this level from an inline element to block level element. So how to do that? I'll come here and do this my form, maybe my form, and I'll do the label, and then display of block. I'll do display of block. I'll do, and I will save it and see what will happen. It will come in its own line. Already looking very good. So what the other thing which I'm going to do to make it very, very beautiful? So the other thing which I'm going to do is to have this first thing is that, see, if I type something here like nothing do, it is looking very bad. It is looking very bad because there is no space around it. No space is there around it. I want a space around it. Space means what? Space means padding. So I add the padding around it. So that is one thing I'm going to do. And the other thing which we are going to do is to extend it till the end. Extend it till the end. Extend it till the end. Okay, so let us do that. And for that, this okay, so this display block is there. Then okay, so we'll come here, and then okay, so one more thing we want to do here. The thing is that I want to select this input box. I want to select this input box. I want to select this text area. So let us do one thing. Let us add a class here. Okay, so common class. Just like we have for a form group, we will have a common class here. So common class, its name will be what? Its name will be maybe input type. Maybe input type is a good name. So I'm just taking input type because we are taking some input. So all of this I'm going to do input type. Input type I have done. Then what I'm going to do again, I will do. So this is a very good way. Actually, choose this my form and then choose the whatever is inside. Why I'm doing this thing? Why it is very important. Suppose there are 10 forms in your project. So there is some dynamic form is there. So you can choose that form. But most of the time people use the same class name here. So you can use the same class name also here, like form group inside it and input type inside it, but only change this thing. So this is a very good way to do that. Okay, so now I'll do this. So I'll take this input type and do this dot my form and dot input type I'm going to do. And then first thing which I'm going to do is the padding of 8 pixel I'm going to do. So we already seen the box model, so we know all padding and whatever these things. So now see, nice padding is coming. Now the other thing is that I will make it 100%. So I will make it the width as 100%. I'm going to do save it. Width as 100% is done. Width as 100%, complete as 100% is been done. Okay, so it's now our form is almost right. Only the thing which is remaining is the button is still ugly. So let's make the button also good. And button making button will you find a lot of code in the internet, but I know a very better way to make it very much beautiful. Means you don't even have to just you see it once and you'll understand how to do it beautify. Not much thing. And button I'm going to do. First thing is that you need to add some padding to it. Means top, down, and all those things. So it's better to add a padding of, means like padding of, we'll use a shortcut. Okay, top okay, top and bottom, this will be 10 pixel, and here it will be 15 pixel because I'm having more padding on the left and right, this shortcut which we have seen earlier. So this I'm going to do, and see, it is looking much more better. This I've done. Then the thing is that always the button should not have any border. So border doesn't look good on a button. So border I'm going to do as none. Border I'm going to do as none. Save it. So border will be gone. So now it is been shown. Let's change the button color because it is like fading kind of a way. Okay, so I'm make the background color, background color as dark blue. I'm going to do as dark blue, background color as dark blue. So see, it is showing like this, but now my text is not being shown. So I'll do a color as white. Color as white I'm going to do. So color as white I have done. So it is showing much more better. And the other thing which we generally do is this sharp edges are there. Just sharp edges are there. I will remove this sharp edges. How I will remove this sharp edges? I'll remove this sharp edges by border radius. For any box I can remove this. Border radius as maybe 10 pixel. And see this. Okay, 10 pixel is way too much. I don't like 10 pixel boxes. So let me make it as 5 pixel. Minute is there. So this is how it is good looking. Okay, and one more thing we should always do, we should do a text transform as uppercase. Text transform as uppercase I'm doing, so it is looking much more better. So this is what is required, and it is already looking good. Only the one thing which is remaining is when I hover my mouse over it, it should change the color, because that is how boxes, that is how buttons are. It should change its color. And the other thing is that it should change this thing to a pointer, to a hand. So there is a way to give that, and the way to give that is like this button. There is pseudo property known as hover, hover, hover. If you do this hover, what will happen? Like this background color, I'm going to give a dark red, and color is white is okay, and color white is not required. Only the background color will white only will be remaining. Okay. The other thing is cursor is like pointer. Cursor is like a pointer. I'll do. So now see what will happen. I'll come here. It is showing to this dark red, and the cursor also is becoming a hand. So this is how it looks. This is how we have styled the form to awesome looking form. Okay, so this is what we have done. So now what we are going to do. Okay, so the next thing which we are going to do is we are going to learn about alignment and floating. See, alignment and floating is a very important thing to teach. Okay, because it is a old kind of a way, this alignment and floating. Alignment and floating, we are going to learn about the layout. So there are 3 ways to do layout nowadays. Okay, not 3 ways, actually 4 ways. One way to do a layout is through alignment and floating, which is a very old way, which is from 1995, and this is one of the reasons because of which CSS got it bad name, because earlier it was very CSS used to be very difficult, and that is one of the reason something like bootstrap and all those things came into picture, because developer used to hate CSS. They used to be scared of CSS because this floating and this, there was not much things in ECSS. So this bootstrap and all these things came up, and they become the main thing. But then what happened? Bootstrap, if you make 2 sites with bootstrap and 2 different sites, totally 2 different sites, you will make it bootstrap, they will look exactly the same, because it has got exactly the same thing. So nowadays nobody prefers bootstrap. If you go it's okay if you it's okay, Arjun. So if you go to any, maybe any your any startup, they will not even touch bootstrap. They want pure CSS. Pure CSS means what? Pure CSS means your CSS Flexbox, CSS Grid, and that is something which I teach completely in my class, CSS Flexbox. CSS Flexbox, I'm going to teach from tomorrow is CSS Flexbox. Today we are going to quickly complete all of these things, and we are going to start with Flexbox from tomorrow. And Flexbox is a small thing, only 1 day it will take, and then for 2 days we are going to do CSS Grid. And this time I'm doing something so that all of you can get CSS projects also. We are going to show, maybe we're going to increase the frequency, and all of you will get the CSS Flexbox, this CSS projects also. And all of you are new here, please do like and subscribe so that it can reach to more people. I'm seeing that nobody is liking this video. Please do like it so that Facebook can make it go to a lot of people. And please do subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Okay, so let us learn about alignment and floating now. So alignment and floating. So this is the old way, but it's okay, we should learn the old way also. And then we are going to do the what is a layout. So this is like just the CSS tags I'm seeing. What is the layout exactly? So layout means how the things will be placed. Like there is a 3-column layout which is very popular. There is a 2-column layout which is very popular. So how those layouts will be created, we are going to do that. And for that, the first thing which we are going to do here, after this, maybe this HR I'm bring it a bit down, and then I will have a div dot block, and inside this block I will have a h2 of heading 1 and a p of lorem, maybe 20 is okay, and I'll repeat this thing, and I'll repeat this thing, heading 2, heading 3. So this all these things I'm going to have, and I'm going to save it. So now after this I am going to have this HR I'm going to have, and this BR, and this BR, HR, BR, and BR I'm going to have. Save it. So now I have this, all these three things I have it like this. Okay, naturally it is coming, the paragraph is also styled because we have styled it. Okay, so that is done. So now what we're going to do, we are going to create a 3-column layout. I want to create a 3-column layout, and there is something known as a float is there. So it floats everything, means this float from the natural flow. By default div will come one after the another. Okay, so I will go here in the style.css, and here I'll do this dot block, and here float left I'll do, and by float left nothing will happen. Although everything is floating to the left, but it needs some width also, width of 33.333%, because I want everything to be like the exactly like this. So 33.33% I'll do, and this is now all of this has been shown correctly. So a 3-column layout is been formed, but there is an issue here. If you have noticed, I was having a HR after this. Where is the HR? What the hell is the HR? HR is been gone because there is a problem with this thing floats, and that's why I don't suggest you to work more on this CSS floats and all, but you should know, okay, it is there, and you're not even able to you are not even see it in old projects. Maybe some projects before 2015, if you're going to encounter, might be in those projects will be there, because in 2015 only CSS Flexbox and Grid came, and which totally means destroyed Bootstrap and all those other things, and because they are so easy and so powerful that every startup started to using them. Okay, and Tailwind CSS, nowadays everybody says Tailwind CSS. Tailwind CSS is also a lot of Grid and Flexbox is there. You need to know Flexbox or Grid if you want to apply Tailwind CSS. And Tailwind CSS also I don't suggest, although a lot of influencers suggest Tailwind CSS. But Tailwind CSS is like that. There's something like justify content and all those things in normal CSS Grid, and they have some classes for that. But at least you should know what is justify content. It is not as bad as Bootstrap, but it is not as good as pure Flexbox and CSS Grid also, because those influencers they are telling like that. But pure CSS Flexbox and Grid are the one which are used in the projects, which are used in big companies, startups a lot. So you should always stick to that. Okay, that is my advice. Okay, so that is there, and so this HR is gone. And that is the reason, that's why the float is bad. So what it does, whenever we are changing the natural flow, so whenever we are changing the natural flow, if something is coming after that, it will actually change it. It will actually be gone, totally be gone. So how to fix this thing? So we'll come here and do a div of class equal to clear fix. So this is one of the ways. So this issue was there from the starting. So how do people used to fix it? So this clear fix I will going to do, and then I will click it. I will copy the clear fix, and then I will come here and I'll do this. After every float element, you have to do this thing. So clear fix I'll do, and I will do clear both. I'll do a clear of both, and I will save it. See, now my everything else is also showing. Now this HR is showing, the BR are showing, everything else is also showing. So these things have been shown. So this is working like this. Okay, so that is done. Now, so this is something which you always have to do. That's why this floats is not that much good. Always you have to use this clear fix thing to clear it, to make it correct, so that it is not doing all this weird kind of stuff. So that is very important here. So, and the other thing which is important here is that it doesn't have much features. Okay, Flexbox and Grid have a lot of features. It doesn't have that much. So, but then also we are going to see one more thing here. We are going to see a 2-column layout with this. This is a 3-column layout, very popular thing. to do, and it is way too much easy in Flexbox and Grid also to do this thing. Okay, so now we're going to do the two column layout. So two column layout, how we're going to do? Again, I am going to have something like this, HR, okay, and this HR is there, maybe a BR I'll do, and here div shop main block I'll do, and div of main block is there, and then the h2 of heading 3 is there, and p of lorem, not quorum, lorem 20 is there, and not heading 2, just the heading. Okay, the heading and the lorem is there, and then I will have a sidebar. Okay, so div hash of side bar, and this is there, and p of lorem is there. Okay, maybe not this much big lorem, I'll have this much lorem only, it's okay. Okay, so this, all these things I have. So now it will show like this, but now as I told, we are going to have two column layout. And one more thing, after every float you should have this clear fix. So after this also I will have this clear fix. I will save it, and then I will come here, and I'll go to this main block, hash main block, and float left and width of 70%. And so there is one more thing is here. Okay, so float left is there is something known as float right also. Okay, so hash of side bar and float right width of 30%. So float right also we can do. So float right is done, and width of 30% is been shown. So this is how your floats happen. This is how the float works. So this is there. So now our floats is done. I don't want to tell much about it because there is this much features only in floats, and we are going to learn about Flexbox, Grid, and all those good stuff tomorrow. Now I'm going to tell about something else. That is like there is something known as box sizing, and box sizing is always a border box. You might have seen, if you have done a bit of CSS also, you might have seen that box sizing border box. People used to give that a lot. Box sizing border box. Okay, so that is there. So we'll come here, and I'll do a padding of 15 px. I'm going to do, and border of 1 px, solid black I'm going to do, and again the padding 15, and this I'm doing. Okay, so I'll save it. See now what is happening. Okay, why my sidebar is not showing the border. Okay, but this sidebar also should show the border. Padding, and okay, this is weird. This sidebar is there. Sidebar is having this thing. What is this sidebar having? ID sidebar is there, and this is a, oh, this is a underscore 2 times is there, hash of sidebar, although it was showing right. Okay, so this is like this, and then the padding of 15 px, and this is there. So what is happening here, I'm not showing the float or something here. So I'm showing what is it. There is something known as a box sizing. By default it is a content box. So content box means what? So there is a property known as box sizing, and this is like a content box, and this again this box sizing is there, and this is like a content box. Box sizing is a content box. So box sizing content box means what? Content box sizing content box means that the padding and the border will not be included in the width. So I'm giving width 70%. The padding and the border will not be included in it. It will be taken on top of it. So it is like 70% plus 16%, 16 pixel layer, and it is 30% plus 16 pixel layer. But there is something known as border box, BOR, border box, and like this border box is there, something like a border box. So what happens with this border box? So border box, what happens, the width and the padding and the border are a part of the width. So that is one of the reason we always in big projects we take a star and do a box sizing as a border box, because the padding and the border become a part of the width. It become part of the 70%, so it will fix it. So this is something which we have done. We have done the floats also, we have learned this box sizing also. So that's it. This is done. So now the next thing which we are going to do is a very important thing. So this is like an optional thing which I've just told. The floats and all these things we generally don't use it nowadays. But the next thing which I'm going to tell, it is a very important thing, which is like a positioning in CSS. It's like static, relative, absolute, and fixed, because that is used a lot nowadays also. And how do you practice CSS? There is a site known as Front End Mentor. I have a lot of challenges on my site also for that. Those Front End Mentor projects you do, and that will be like this. Okay, so let us now do them. And okay, so positioning we are going to do. So for positioning, what we need to do, okay, positioning, we need to do a position box. We are going to have a position box, and in that we are going to learn about positioning. Okay, so maybe after this BR and BR I'm going to do, and after this I'm going to have a div dot position box, div dot position box I'm going to have, and then h1 is CSS and h2 is a crash course. H2 is a crash course I have done, and CSS and the crash course is been done. So this position box is there, and then so this class we are going to do, and this dot position box I'm going to do, and then the thing which we are going to do is like a first thing is the width is like 800 pixel I'm going to do. So I'm taking a width here, so width I'm taking, and the height, GST height also I'm taking is as 500 pixel I'm going to do, and border I'm going to take border as 1px solid black I'm going to do. Okay, so with this what will happen, 800 pixel by 500 pixel box will be done, border. Okay, so that is done. So that is not a main thing. The main thing is that I want to now change the position of this CSS, which is this this list as h1, this h2. I want to change the position, the natural flow and all those things. So with there is a keyword, there is a property known as position in CSS. Through it, what we can do, we can change the position, means anywhere, which whatever we want, anywhere we can change, like anywhere we can move. Why this is very much important? This is very much important. See, nowadays designers are like damn crazy, not damn crazy in that they will give you any design in the world. So because everyone wants their website to stand out, so what will happen, they will give you very complicated design, and for us developer it is very difficult to make those design. Sometimes with the layouts also it will not work. Sometimes you have to move something in between the image or something. So position, this will come to a rescue. Position absolute, position relative. With that, what happen, you can move anything anywhere, exactly anywhere you can move wherever you like it. Something that is also not possible with the layouts of Flexbox and Grid, but that is possible with positioning. And some of the front-end mentor challenges which I have done, you see those things are possible. Okay, so what I want to do right now, I want to move this h1, see this h1 inside this box only, but below this crash course I want to move somewhere down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first select this only this h1. So I'm going to do a position box and h1 I'm going to do, and then I will do a position absolute, and then when I give a position absolute, I get access to four things. One is a top, left, right, and bottom. And with this property top, left, right, and bottom, I can move anything anywhere I can move. So I want to move it top of, and it takes either in percentage or in pixel or any unit of measurement. It will take 40 pixel. I'll do so 40 pixel. What it will do from this thing, from this, because I want to move it inside the box only. From this thing, it will take 40 pixels somewhere down it. Okay, it will take. Okay, and now I will save it. Now let me see whether it has moved or not. It has not moved, but it has moved somewhere, and it is almost gone. It is gone. I don't know where it is. Let us find where it is. So it has moved to the top. It has moved here at the top. Why it has moved here to the top? Because position absolute always come in pair with something known as a position relative. So when you give position absolute on its own, you can give it on its own also, but most of the time you have to give it in pair. Why? Because when you give it on its own, what it takes the whole page as its parent, whole page as its parent, and it will move from the top, which is 40 pixel, or whatever you give from the top, it will move 40 pixel. But my intention was not that. My intention was to move it inside this box only. So how do I do that? How do you do that? So to do that, what I'm going to do, this position box is actually the parent of this h1. So this position box, I have to make it as position as relative. Position as relative. So if I do this position relative, now see this CSS moved below it, below this crash course. So I have to make this position as relative, then only it will work. Position as relative of this. Okay, so then also only it will work. So this is how it works. Okay, so I have to make the position relative always of the parent element. Okay, so that is there, and now we can move anything anywhere now. Okay, if I do this thing, top like 140, maybe it is 140 I'll do, and left also I'll do something left as 200 pixel I'll do, and similar to this, I'll let me move this. So if I do something like this, I'll save it, see what will happen. This is 140 pixel on the top, and from the left 200 pixels, so I can move anything anywhere, right? Okay, so similar to this, I will have this dot position box and h2 as position as absolute, and I will have, since I have access to other properties also, let us use those. I will use the bottom as 40 pixel and right as maybe 200 pixel I'll do, and save it. So it will be done like this. Bottom as 40 pixel, and from the right it is doing a 200 pixel. 200 pixel it is doing. So this is how it works. So that is done. This is our position absolute and position relative. Very small topic, not a big topic, but very important topic. Now there is another thing which is known as position absolute, position fixed, and that is also very much important, and that works in independent with this absolute and relative things. Okay, that works in independent. So how to do that? So after this, I'm going to have another button here. So this button will be like a button, and I'll write a fixed button, and then it will be having a class equal to button. And so if I give it, it's a class of button, so I already have a class of button, so it is giving this because I have already created something like this. So it will take that, and I want to have another class also because I want to update that. So that button, that class I will name as fixed button. You can take as many classes as you want in the HTML. So fixed button I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to do here, in this fixed button, I'll come fixed button, Control S, I'll go here, and then dot fixed button is like position is fixed and top is 20 pixel, and it works independently. Okay, it doesn't require any relative or something. So now what is happening, see, now this button is fixed. Now when I scroll it, it will always be there, and this is something all of us have seen. There is some call to actions here, like join to WhatsApp and all this thing, it will always stay. And this is very much used to make those sticky header and sticky footer. So if I make the top as 0, see what will happen. And maybe I will make it a nav bar completely. So even if you scroll it, so this is something which nowadays is always used. Any website you will go, you will see that always the header is like fixed, always the nav bar is like fixed. So if you even I scroll it, this button will be there. So they do it by this trick, top of 0. Okay, so I'll do it, and again I'll make it like this. Okay, it is okay. So this is done now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let me do one thing today. Maybe we'll end in the next 10 minutes or so. So one sec. I'll give it attendance sheet now only, because I don't want to start Flexbox today. Flexbox is a completely different topic and it should be started tomorrow only. Mark your attendance here. Please do mark your attendance here, and it is done. And now we are going to learn about images. So images are very important thing. So background images and all. So there is a different way to give images through CSS. We have seen that image tag is there, and there was some issue with that image tag. So now we are going to give images here, and I will have a new folder known as images. I'll have, and then I'll come here and go to this unsplash and all, and desktop setup I'll do, and I want something like a bit of small and all, maybe this one, 614 to 500. See, I am taking the small one. This is very important to understand what I'm taking. I'm taking a smaller image, 614 to 502 pixel, and I'll open it actually, and I will open this also, reveal in Finder, and do that, and then images I'll go here, I'll go, and here I'll do it, and this is like this, and splash I'm going to do, cut it, and this is done. So this image, I have this image, so I want to show this image actually not everywhere. I want to show this image exactly inside this box. So what I will do, so I have this position box. Inside this I'm going to show the image, and one thing is that CSS have a property known as background image. So it is much better than the image tag. Image tag, because image tag is having a not having a lot of things. So what I'm going to do in this position box only, I'm going to have a background image, and it will be like URL, and like this I will go, and dot images, the path I have to give, and unsplash.jpg I'm going to give. So background image and images and unsplash.jpg I have given, and then I will save it. So when I save it, see what is happening here when I saved it. So it is actually repeating itself. So this is there and it is repeating itself. Why it is repeating? It is repeating itself because this is 800 by 500 pixel. That is 640 by something is there. Okay, what is the exact image? Okay, not something is like 640 into 512. Okay, from below it is okay. Sidewise it is not okay. So that's why it is repeating. So I don't want this thing to be behaving like this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a background repeat as no repeat. I'm going to do, save it. So when I do this no repeat, see this is gone. So it is not repeating. So the no repeat, it is gone. So it is not repeating. So now the next thing which I'm going to do is the background size as cover, because I don't want to have this like this showing like this. Okay, so background size will cover I will do, and see, it is covering everything and it is showing perfectly. So this is how it is done. This is how this is done. Okay, so that is done like this. But what if we have a bigger image? What if we have a bigger image? Then what? So on splash I'll do, go again, and desktop setup I'm going to do, and which one? This one maybe? No, not this one. Not a scar kind of image, or maybe this one. And this time I'll take a very big image. This is like gigantic image I am taking, and this I'll do, and I will come here, reveal in Finder. I'm going to do an images. I'm going to go here, and here I'll go, and on splash I'll go again here, and then here do as a large unsplash I'm going to do. So now first thing is that I'm going to actually comment this out, and it is the large unsplash I'm going to do. Large unsplash I'm going to do. Okay, large unsplash I'm going to do. So now it is so gigantic that only I'm seeing the top part of it. So gigantic. So I will first remove this background repeat as no repeat. I'll do it. So now also nothing is saved because anyways it was large, it was not repeating, but I will remove this thing. Okay, so background size as cover, and now it will be fixed. So whenever whether your image is large or whether it is small, you blindly give these two things, background image and this thing, so it adjusts it automatically. The main thing is that it will adjust automatically. You don't have to worry about the image is getting distorted and all. When with image tag or something, you are going to size some image like width and height or something, you're good. The image, there are chances that the image will get distorted, but this is a natural way. This is something which CSS does for us, and it does in a way that the image will not be distorted. The image is of any size, small, large, medium, range, and whatever it is there, it doesn't matter. It will put it inside in a way that it will show nice. It will show nice. And the main thing is here is this background sizes cover. For smaller image, we require this background repeat, no repeat. But for bigger image also, we should leave it, because we should not think like that. Okay, I'm giving a smaller image, I'm giving a bigger image. No, you just blindly put all these things. All your image issues will be solved. Once you get started with HTML, CSS, you will find that the images are the biggest problem of anything. And with these three things, all of your image problem is solved. So that is done. So now the next thing which we are going to do here, I think in fact the last thing which we are going to do here is like we are going to learn about another kind of a pseudo property here. Okay, another kind of a pseudo property, and I will come here and do a char and VR. I'm going to do, and I'm going to have a UL and class equal to my list and align of item 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 I'm going to take. Okay, so my list I done, UL I done. So we're going to learn about a pseudo property now. Okay, so okay, this is okay, and I will have some maybe some BR and a HR. I'm going to have save it, so it will have this thing at the end. So this is like this. Okay, so now what pseudo property we are going to learn? The first thing is that this my list I have to choose. So I'll choose this my list dot my list and ally, and there is a property known as first child. So these are all are known as pseudo properties. So whatever the ally first child, I can do something with this. So I can do anything, like background is like Rebecca purple. I'm going to save it and see, it will make like this. So ally first child. So similar to this, a lot of other things are there. Dot my list is ally last child is there, and background is maybe library, save it. So last child, as it says, it will be the last child. So similar to that, a very powerful thing is the nth child, which we use a lot. Dot my list, and ally is nth child, and I can give anything here, like 5 I will give, 5 I'll give, and then background is like light blue, I'll do, and nth child fifth is been done. So now the other thing is there, like this, with this nth child we're going to have one more thing. So I will have this again, and maybe after this I will have, and then I'll write it as dynamic list, and like this, dynamic list dot dynamic list, and ally nth child I'm going to do, and I can have something known as even also here. So it takes something as even also, and now it will take as odd also, odd, and it is light blue. Save it. See, now it will show like this, and this is a very good trick. We use this trick a lot at a lot of places to do something like this. Oh, okay. So with this, actually we have completed the CSS. It took some time, but we have completed it, and we are going to, tomorrow we are going to start with the Flexbox. So please do attend. Tomorrow is a very important class, and the next 3 days are very important. Like if you want to learn, really learn CSS, these are all the things which you are doing, and I'm doing this all for every people. Means I'm doing this CSS. After that, next week is JavaScript, and then the next week is React, which are the 3 main weeks. And maybe after that, I'm not even decided the 4th week what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something either I will do something complicated. I always do something complicated. People, I don't know, people don't like complicated things. People like to do things which will get them a job. So these are the things which will get you a job: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Only these things you require to get a job. So do it and get a job. Okay. And with this, I will end today's stream, and I will see you all tomorrow, and we will do Flexbox tomorrow. So please do come in tomorrow, and please do like and subscribe if you're not done it yet. Thank you. Bye.